Oh.
Like a morbidly obese.
I've seen a
Alabama chick.
more. I can't say that.
Morbidly.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, obese woman with more than over 10 type men. I'm like, damn, I want that, but like, shit, I can't.
I think honestly, they're just being fetishized.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Okay.
And if they found their niche and it makes them happy,
Can I ask you a question? Are no standards are too high for women?
For both.
For men too.
Yeah, like
So if
you have
my
standards. I want to
standard-
know your standards.
So if my standard is, I make no like I think I'm a average, like at best average guy, at best average, but obviously I give myself a 4.5, so that's a bit below average. You even think I'm lower than that? You think I'm lower than that? Not upset by that whatsoever. Do you think there are no standards are too high for me?
No.
So if I'm holding out, if I don't want to deal with an average chick and I want to fuck a 10 out of 10 20-year-old supermodel, am I being realistic?
I mean, if you got the
Bro, you
money
want your
for
girl to
it.
bow to you. Is that realistic?
100%.
Okay.
100%.
There's many 20-year-olds who would do
Every girl
that.
I've dated in the past, fucking, I don't know, 3 years or whatever. 2 years. I don't know. When did I start the bow video? 2 years ago? I don't know. They all do it. You think if a girl likes a guy?
Can you invite me to your wedding, please?
Sure, you can be there. You can be
Thank
my
you.
maid of
Flower girl.
honor.
can we be the flower girls? Yes.
Sure.
I wanna see
but
you
you
get
have to
married.
take the septum piercing out.
I will.
You think if a girl really likes a guy, she'll. I don't know if I want to be graphic here. You think a girl who really likes a guy, the bow's gonna be the what's the term for it?
No, she can, but you're all talking about these expectations.
roadblock?
Like, she has to be a model. And like, I feel like there's more models
No.
than people that will bow to you, in my opinion.
And
You
when I'm
think- hold
talking
on.
about standards, I'm talking
There's
about
there's quite a few models.
You
There's a lot of
think-
agencies out there. She's a model.
Hold on. You think it's more likely I get with a 10 out of 10 supermodel than find a woman who's willing to bow?
I don't know what you consider 10 out of 10, but I do think you could get with an attractive woman, for sure. 100%.
What does attractive mean?
A girl that you
what
like. I don't know
you
your type.
see attractive. Not everybody's gonna see what you see as a
I
10
can
out
You're
of 10.
submissive girl. I
I
don't
can
know.
get the bow way easier than a 10 out of 10 supermodel. How about here we
go.
can she's a virgin too. Let's add that on top.
The
No
supermodel?
no standards are too high.
But when I'm talking about standards, I'm not talking
And
about.
she has the biggest labia ever.
I'm not talking.
No standards are too high?
Can I finish what I'm saying?
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
When I'm talking about standards, I'm talking about what people like are expecting. Like, you expect to go on first date, and a man might expect you to do that too. Like, I'm talking about actions. What do you expect? What are your standards? I'm not talking about
She's
looks. I'm
speaking
not
on
talking
standards
about
over
people.
preferences.
You can have standards related to looks.
Okay.
But that's not what I'm talking about. Like, when I'm saying no standards are too high, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, can a woman have a height standard? Like, can a woman say, I'll only date a guy who's 6'6"? Is that a standard?
Yeah.
Okay. So I would think if, regardless of how tall or short or whatever the woman is, I would tell a woman, I mean, look, if you're a really, really beautiful woman, yeah, maybe you could get a guy who's 6'6". It's a really small proportion of men who are that tall. It's less than 1%. So I would tell her, like, look, that's kind of unrealistic. I think that's a bit, let's say it's an average chick. Then I'm like, okay, maybe you can find it. Unlikely, though. You've shrunk your dating pool to less than 1%. So I don't understand, though. If women can have height standards, why can't I have, like, she's hot standards? She's beautiful standards. You just get caught up. Girls can have any standards they want.
I mean, I already said, like, you could, that I already said, like, I answered all your questions when you said that, and I was like, yeah, like, you could have that standard, and that's not too high. If you're looking for a girl that's 10 out of 10, like, that's your preference.
Latrice, you, interestingly enough, leads right into this. Women and their outlandish expectations on men. You wanted to talk on that?
Yeah, because I think that's the problem, and that's why it's a lot harder that's why I'm actually seeing a lot more women that have been single, is because of the expectations that they have upon men. You know, again, we've already went over this earlier, that we were talking about how, you know, men are expected to be the providers, the protectors, to be able to make certain financial expectations within the woman's standards, also XYZ, whatever. But then when it comes down to women, what exactly do they have to offer that? What do they have to offer in order to meet those qualifiers that they have and those expectations that they have upon men? What can you offer is the question.
Your man provides for you, and you offer house skills, and you help around the house.
Yes, there's women that won't offer that at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I feel like you should offer more than just that. Like, go to work.
Why?
Get a job.
Why do I want to work for why do I want to work for a man who's not going to give a shit about me? While I get to be at home for a man that does care for me and provides for me.
Because you're getting money and you're also helping provide for the family.
I'm definitely getting money. I don't have a problem. I'm getting money with a joint account too. I'm actually in charge of of the finances in the household. He does not have control of money. I do.
But you still could both
I gotta
be
move
making
it on.
money.
I'm gonna move it on. Going to Lauren, there's a few more notes for you. You write, you don't split bills, you don't pay for sitters to go on dates, the man pays. You expect men to lead financially and show effort. And what's interesting is that even with those standards, you've dated men who are fully aligned with that. This is the simp epidemic, I think. So the simp epidemic, where men will, like, for example, a woman could be like a prostitute and she'll still find a guy to, like, who's willing to, she'll find a sucker. She'll find a guy who's willing to pay for dates and stuff. I think if you're, I'm not calling you a prostitute, but like we've had actual literal prostitutes on the show, and they're like, I don't think there's anything further from being traditional than being a prostitute. Chivalry should be completely out the door. I'm not saying she should be mistreated, but if you want chivalry, you got to be a lady. And trust me, prostitutes are not ladies. They're women, but they're not ladies. And so I think there's this dynamic going on here where I agree with you. Like, even if you're a totally modern woman, even if you're a stated feminist, you can still find men, because men are just that motivated. And men, maybe they're too horny, maybe they're too whatever, maybe they don't have enough options. Because women, when it comes to dating, y'all move in abundance. Women move in abundance. There's no shortage of men who want to sleep with you. There's no shortage of men who want to be with you. Whether you find them attractive or not, that's another story. Whereas a lot of men, the experience of most men live lives of quiet desperation. Most men don't have like 10 women in the friend zone who would readily fuck him. Most men don't have 10 women in the friend zone who are like dying to be in a relationship with him. The same way that women, y'all always have a man in the pocket. You might not like the guy, but there's a guy who's like, would absolutely be a total fucking simp. You could run that relationship and he'll be a simp. He'll pay for dates. He'll simp for you. He'll give you money just to have access to you romantically and or sexually. You keep men in the pocket, the friend zone. And so y'all come from abundance, but a lot of dudes, like an average girl, she has a lot of sexual options. Like an average chick, you move through the world with the sexual optionality of a rock star. As a man, for us to have the same level of sexual access you could have. Now, I realize a lot of you don't want, I totally get, you guys don't want to just fuck anybody,
But
right?
it's so easy for men.
What do you mean?
Hold
on, let me finish my point before we get into that. You move through the world as if, like, in terms of the men that are just like, want some dick, want some dick, want some dick. Y'all are rock stars in that sense. For a man to have women coming at them like that, you're a 1% man. You're either top tier looks. Like, you to get that level of sexual attention from women, you gotta be a Chad. You got to be a 9 out of 10 to get that kind of sexual attention from women. An average woman, a below average woman, is getting bombarded with dick proposals. Want some dick? No. Ew. Want some dick? Want some dick? Y'all, you just get on a dating app, you'll have 10 dudes ready tonight to sleep with you. An average guy goes on a dating app, an average guy goes to the bar, no girls are going to go talk to him, no girls are sliding into an average dude's DMs, no chicks, excuse me, sir, want some pussy? No, it's not happening. It's not happening. So y'all move through it with abundance. Most men, they don't have abundance mindset. So when they do find a girl, they'll do some desperate shit. And that's where simping comes in. So even if the woman isn't meeting a standard, a lot of men, whatever, I'll do what it takes to get her. I'll do what it takes to get pussy. I'll do what it takes to get a relationship. And that's not criticism of women. That's a criticism of men.
Correct.
Because these men out here be fucking shit up. Men are fucking shit up too in a lot of ways. A lot of people say, Brian, you only criticize women. These simps out here be fucking shit up because y'all are used to a certain, y'all ain't doing any, y'all ain't holding up your end of the deal as women.
Since dating is like hard and unjust for men, do you expect women to owe you something?
How did you draw that from what I just said?
Because you're talking about how hard and unjust it is, and then you're like,
hold on.
No, he's saying men.
Look, I'm not saying it's unjust. I'm speaking descriptively. I'm saying this is what is. It is true, whether you like it or not, whether it is true that an average woman, she can be bombarded with sexual options. An average man, like honestly, you put most women into a man's body, they're incels. You put most women into a man's body, a lot of women think, if I was a man, I'd be running through chicks. Women don't have game like that. Like you think if you were a dude, if I was a dude, I would know exactly what to, no, y'all be simps too. Y'all would be simps.
So I think the issue is that, men are not selective and they're not shooting towards like their league, So like they just like, if they see 10 women, they would try with every single one of them. And that's the problem that men have. Women concentrate on their goal and they are more selective when it comes to dating. Yes, women are more selective. And we also almost everywhere in the universe, we're just waiting for the man to make the first move, which put too much pressure on the man. I acknowledge that, but also like we're not just like, going after every man. So we also not get in unless if the man approach first. And a lot of men nowadays don't approach. So
okay,
but
as women, I agree that yes, men are not approaching women as much anymore. Men are not putting in, some men are putting in tons of effort, the simp. But yes, but there's a lot of factors to that. There's a shift in the social dynamics between men and women. But the reality is, as an average guy, if you don't make the first move in your life, you're dying a virgin. As an average woman, you don't got to do shit, and men will come to you. Whether you like them or not is a separate conversation.
And there's a lot of factors that go into that as well.
Yeah, and I think
it's been like that. Unfortunately,
the reality,
it sucks.
women are the sexual selectors. Women are pickier. Women are the sexual selectors. It's not an injustice. It's just reality. It's just reality. Women have more sexual optionality than men. If I want to honestly,
people change reality.
A girl who's a 3 can get just as much sex if she wanted to. Props to you guys, because if men had the sexual optionality that y'all had, that would be like a crazy fuck fest. Holy shit, that'd be.
I mean, it kind of is. The times are kind of changing.
At least congratulations, you guys are selective. Good, good, because if the roles were reversed.
Hey Brian, did you ever see that one video where the girl had she made a post on, I don't know if it was TikTok or Instagram. She said that she made a post pretending to be her friend, her male friend, which was actually, he was a very attractive dude.
Dating apps, yeah.
And went on a dating app, she realized just how hard he had it.
You put an average girl on a dating app, she has 1,000 matches in 24 hours. You put an average guy on a dating app, maybe he has 3. Like there's so many differences. I'm not trying to be like, oh, feel pity for us. I'm just talking about descriptively what is the case. And honestly, I think a girl who's a 3, she has more sexual options than fucking
I think
a dude's who's a 9. A dude, at least you have more options.
I think also if you bring in-
quality is going to be different,